Nearly every single game Sweet Baby Inc. touches turns to trash, and it doesn't look like it's going to be much different with Unknown Nine Awakening. It is a game that has an amazing lead actress that looks terrible within the title. The gameplay looks uninspiring. It truly just looks like a very mediocre game. And now that we're less than a week away from launch, it is doing terribly when it comes to the teasers and trailers that are getting ratioed, and apparently the pre-orders are abysmal. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, this was a game that was announced a couple of years ago, and people were actually relatively excited for it, but this is a major problem in the games industry right now. It was initially unveiled 4 years ago. Games change a lot within 4 years, and that is why I always stay skeptical when I see teasers and trailers, because I do not care about a game that you're announcing now that isn't going to be releasing for another half a freaking decade. Like, that's just ridiculous, in my opinion, especially when the teasers and trailers now are primarily highlighting cinematics because they know that the gameplay is not going to sit well with people, and that is exactly what has happened. Unknown Nine Awakening, from the get-go, when they actually announced the release date, and they showed off the fact that they had Anya Carlotta, who of course was Yennefer in The Witcher, in it. People have been skeptical, and it's sad, right? Because she's a very good actress, at least in my opinion, and I'd love to see her in a decent video game. But not only did they butcher her model in game, we now know, of course, that they worked with Sweet Baby Inc., who is a plague on the industry right now, and every single SBI game turns to trash. It's just not a winning strategy because there are hundreds of thousands to millions of gamers who are boycotting the company, and now Unknown Nine Awakening is their next victim because as you can see, most recent cinematic launch trailer has been unveiled to a massive ratio. It's sitting at 34,000 views in one day, which is insanely low given this is on the official PlayStation YouTube account, and it's got nearly 16 million subscribers. So you would think it would have at least 100K, but it's sitting at 1.5K likes to 4.3K dislikes, over 500 comments, and most of them are negative, saying "Forspoken to Electric Boogaloo." That's what everyone wanted, right? Unknown Nine, the modern audience. How can you hate on Sweet Baby Inc. when they're going to save you so much money? Thank you, Cabrutus, Grums, and Endymion, for helping me save money. Who knows? Maybe it will beat Dustborn's 72 people player count. I don't think that that's even going to happen, to be honest. But when you are, releasing a trailer for something, right? I like to see the cinematics. Don't get me wrong. I love to see these beautiful visuals, and I love to see parts of a story and getting a little bit of knowledge into a character and kind of what she's doing. But on the flip side, I am not sitting here buying a movie. I am buying a video game. Therefore, what matters the most to me is the actual gameplay and the platforming and how movement works and all of your different abilities. Like, there are so many different things that you could highlight in a trailer to make me significantly more hyped, and they're not doing that because the gameplay trailer that they had released only a month ago got absolutely downvoted to oblivion. And that is just not a good look for them. And clearly, gamers are not particularly hyped with this at all whatsoever, because we know that Sweet Baby Inc.'s affiliated, because it genuinely looks terrible. It just seems like a mediocre experience. As you can see, Reflector Entertainment and Bandai Namco's Unknown Nine Awakening was added to the Sweet Baby Inc. detected list a couple of months ago. We know that it was confirmed because David Bedard, who of course is one of the co-founders, and Kim Belair, the other co-founder, is credited in the credits section, right? It does mention them by name. It does highlight the fact that they worked on this. So while Sweet Baby Inc. as a entity in totality does not seem to be credited, at least yet, we won't know for a few more days until we have the full game credits when it actually releases. But it wouldn't be particularly shocking. And because those two are credited, it's basically a guarantee that Sweet Baby, of course, touched it because Kim Belair is a consultant, David Bedard is a consultant. Like, even though they're not putting the Sweet Baby Inc. name out there in the public, it's clear as day that these entities did dig their claws into it, which is definitely a red flag. I mean, look at this gameplay, right? Look at that. That just looks terrible. In my opinion, it looks so low quality. So it's not even like we're getting an amazing technical experience. We're not getting extremely fluid, amazing looking combat and visuals. The game, from head to toe, seems terrible. The only saving grace was Anya Carlotta as Haruna, and they butchered her model within the video game. I mean, look at this. She is an absolutely gorgeous woman, at least in my opinion. I think she looks fantastic. She's definitely very feminine and pretty. And this is the best that they could come up with within this game. And then the concept art, it just is like they wanted to butcher her. Why would you hire a beautiful woman like this and then completely twist around her features and make her unrecognizable? Like, it's so insulting to her and also gamers. But to top all of that off, we had heard not even that long ago that the Sweet Baby Inc. Infected game reportedly had poor pre-orders and atrocious Steam wishlist ranking. I did talk about this in another video, but we did see that, yes, in fact, it's not going particularly well for them. According to YouTuber Dr. Disaster, he shared that his retail source, who manages 9 stores, has not had a single pre-order for the game, and to top all of that off, it was in the 390th position for most wishlisted Steam games, and was sitting in the 3,092nd spot on the top sellers list. So overall, a freaking nightmare for them. Now, if they had actually created something decent here, I could see people lining up to play it. Visually, Forspoken was solid. It was just the story that was a major problem, the agendas that they throw in your face, the terrible writing. It was not story-wise a game that anyone wanted to spend their money on, but visually it was extremely attractive, and same goes for Unknown 9 Awakening. Visually, the cinematics were very appealing and drew people in, but once we found out that they were working with Sweet Baby Inc., once we saw the actual gameplay and the low quality that the visuals were when you're outside of those cinematics were revealed, people instantly were turned off from this game. So, of course, when it comes to the launch, maybe it'll be a banger for them. Maybe it'll sell a lot. But judging by all of the evidence we have so far, it is going to be another Sweet Baby disaster. And I can't say I'm particularly shocked, given gamers are willing to speak with their wallets and they're not buying bullshit anymore. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, make sure to give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.